Okay, so it is Tuesday morning now, and this is about snow travel, sunscreen, and post-holing. As you can see, I'm about 3.5 miles. I am Novo from the Echo Lake Snow Park parking lot, and I'm heading towards Echo Lakes. And a bunch of these tracks were made Saturday and Sunday afternoon, and so that's why I wanted to explain it to you. These guys are all post-holing in the afternoon. All right, so as you can see, a vast majority, 80 to 90% of these post holes are Sobo, going back towards the parking lot. That's because when they were going towards the lake, they were floating on top of frozen snow. But UV rays, I'll pick that up later, UV rays are going to melt the snow, but they'll puncture through the top 2 centimeters or so of snow and melt the snow underneath that topmost layer. So let me go back to that in a second. So what are these guys doing is they were fine going to the lake in the morning time with the frozen snow, and then they ended up having a post hole back to the car. What that means to a hiker is oftentimes it's beneficial for you to hike in the snow until you begin post-holing and then stop. And then sometimes, especially if you're on an exposed traverse or something, then what you'll do is wait for the snow to melt a little bit so that you have traction, so that you're not on complete icy situations. But again, those weather windows are small, and that's why one of the reasons why snow travel will slow you down. So let's go back to ultraviolet. So this is all sunny here. Ultraviolet rays you cannot see. About 85% of the ultraviolet rays from the sun get reflected back to you, and that's why people say wear lots of sunscreen when you're in snow travel, because that ultraviolet rays is what causes sunburn and skin damage. So that means about 15% is absorbed by the snow. So 15% goes into the snow. But again, the ultraviolet rays penetrate the top, let's say 2 centimeters approximately of snow. And what that does is visually it leaves something like that, where visually it looks like stable ground, but it's only a couple of centimeters of crust that you, in the afternoon, once that snow that's underneath that topmost layer works out, you'll break through and you'll start to post hole. So that's what causes that initial post holing. Now, if it were going to be happening over 3 or 4 days of melt, freeze, that upper topmost 2 centimeters is still going to look like that. It's going to be a little bit more compact, but it's not. But below the 2 centimeters is going to be an ever increasing cavern of melted snow. So after 3 or 4 days of this melt, freeze cycle, then what you are left with is now going to be thigh deep or waist deep post holing, because you see untouched snow, and it might be earlier in the morning where that 2 centimeter crust is supporting your weight, but once the sun warms up the layers below it and that crust becomes more fragile, then you pop through it and you end up post-holing knee deep, waist deep, thigh deep into the snow. So there you go. Woo! More PCT hiking snow winter trivia. See ya.